Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. Well, just in the past few days, the readers of Condé Nast Traveler have, for the 9th year straight, named Chicago as the best big city in the USA. So, one of the reasons they do that is every year is because of Chicago's welcoming nature, welcoming people from all over the world, from different backgrounds and different races, and so people really like coming here. Which brings up kind of an interesting question. Why is a certain person in the White House calling this city and surrounding area a war zone? Now, as people who follow this channel know, main thing of what I do as a photographer these days is photojournalism. I do photojournalism for a nonprofit called Growing Community Media. Donation link in the description. If you're in the U.S., it's tax deductible. You have to check your local country to see if it is. And I regularly take assignments inside the city of Chicago because one of our papers, the Austin Weekly News, covers the Austin neighborhood on the west side of Chicago, right across Austin Boulevard from Oak Park, Illinois. And sometimes we go into neighboring areas like Garfield Park and Lawndale and so on. So it's not a war zone. I go into those areas frequently. I take a lot of photos of things going on, various things going on, people at festivals, business people trying to make a go of it as business people. And there are some really thriving businesses over in the Austin neighborhood. So it really gets my goat when somebody lies about this city, as well as other cities. And the thing is, does Chicago have violent crime? Of course it does. There isn't a city in the world that doesn't have violent crime. Is our crime rate high? No, actually not. Not on a per capita basis. That's the thing about these people who always say, oh, it's a cesspool, it's full of crime. You don't understand per capita, the rate. Per individual, what is the crime rate? You are in far more danger in other cities in this country, and a lot of them are in red states, Texas, than you are here in Chicago. So this is nonsense. And if you want to buy into this, hey, you're probably at the point where no amount of reason and rationality is going to work on you. So, hey, that's fine. But the other thing that's really angered me is that the federal agents that are involved in rounding up people who, sometimes aren't even here illegally because they're ambushing them at their immigration hearings. So this whole nonsense about, oh, we're only going after criminals is nonsense as well. They're now targeting people like me, journalists. Just recently at the Broadview ICE facility, and that's actually the only place where right now there's a whole lot of protests going on, and that's a very small suburb just about 10 minutes to my west. That was west. I was sent to Broadview early on, and I did photograph a small protest, photographed some ICE agents, photographed the building, mainly probably for file use. Just the other day, a federal agent on the roof of that building actually fired a riot control weapon, a non-lethal projectile, at a clergyman. Dressed as a clergyman, obvious a clergyman, just peacefully protesting, and hit him in the head with a pepper ball. That's unacceptable. They also took down a producer from WGN News, one of our local TV and radio stations. Took this producer down, saying she was obstructing. Highly doubtful, because what we're learning as we go forward is they lie about this kind of stuff. So if you're okay with these people violating the First Amendment, which guarantees free speech, which guarantees right to peaceably assemble, which guarantees freedom of the press, I don't know what to tell you, but I will tell you what I think. If you are a person who took the oath to support and defend the Constitution, no matter what, because in this country, military and law enforcement officers of all levels take an oath to defend the Constitution. And if you personally support this kind of stuff, or you're in a position where you're officially involved in supporting this kind of stuff, I think you need to have a long sit down and think about it. Because when this is over, and it will be over, I was just following orders isn't going to work. It didn't work at the Nuremberg trials at the end of World War II. It's not going to work now. With the Nuremberg trial, a lot of people went to prison. Might want to consider that. So what I thought I would do in my capacity as a photojournalist is leave you with a little slideshow of some of the things that I have covered over inside the city of Chicago. And not once have I felt unsafe, and not once have I felt I was in a war zone. And believe me, if it was a war zone, I'd be covering it. So, comments, questions, leave them below. If you make any kind of derogatory comment, any kind of racial type thing about these images, your comment's not going to last very long. So, and I am not going to argue with people for whom no amount of reason, rationality, logic, who lack any semblance of human decency. I'm not going to argue with you. I'm just going to delete your comment and hide you from the channel. So, that's it. Have a great day.